I said Luna, there's no way to fuck down. I said Luna. Right, there has been an increase in monkeys in my ranked games that pick Luna and don't know how to play with her. So I'm making this guide to help out the kids, the monkey, the females. Yes, ladies, you can thank me later. Right, no need to skip ahead. I'm getting right into it. This is my Luna guide. My name is Xeptha. Welcome to my video. Let's get started. Step 1, you want to go into your practice range. Go ahead and pick Luna, and then once you do, press start, go to your practice settings and give yourself no cooldown. So let's quickly talk about the aim settings for Luna. So if you go into your settings, so I'm a controller, so I'm talking for the controller players out here. So if you're on PC, then, you know, what do you want me to do? I don't have a PC. Go find someone else's video. The console players, I'm going to show you guys love because I don't know a lot of you see any console content out there, but we do still exist. So the number one tip that I will give you guys that are on console and are trying to learn Luna is to up your sensitivity, right? Take it up there. For me, I usually chill around 170, 170, right? And then I'll make adjustments if I need to. If I feel like this is too quick, then I'll make adjustments. But I'll be honest, you need to be quick with Luna. The reason why we want to use a high sense with Luna is because we want to be constantly turning our heads around to see which one of our teammates are low. Now listen carefully. If a teammate is low on health and has time to walk away, press left on the D-pad. Sorry, not left. Press down on the D-pad and then go to the left and then ping, I need healing. You have failed as a healer. So many times in my games when I'm low on health, I see my Luna focusing on doing damage to the targets instead of healing me, allowing me to do the damage to the targets instead. Don't be that kind of Luna player. It is super annoying because I'm actually built to do damage. As Luna, your kit doesn't actually do that much damage. There's DPS characters with kits that are built to do damage. Heal them up, let them do the damage. They will do more damage than you ever could. And healing is so OP on this game. It's so overpowered. It's so good, in fact, that if we don't kill the healers, it's very hard to get picks. Healers are usually the first targets to go. You know, unless you're this annoying guy, which then you could just one-shot whoever you want. But you know, that's besides the point. If there are new settings, if there are new tips, I will comment it down below and update it. That way you are always up to date with Luna. Okay, let's talk about her abilities and how you can use her. Now, a very easy one is Cryo Heart. Why am I retarded? Cryo Heart, which automatically restores health when you're casting Ice Arts or Absolute Zero. When you do use your two abilities, you will restore some health to yourself too. It's good to know. It's a good defensive thing to know. If you are super low on health, sometimes instead of running to the health pack, it might be wise to just cast one of your two abilities that you have. The other one is not really an ability. We'll get to that in just a second too. Next, the next passive. This is key. This is where you'll be a better Luna player if you just do this one trick I'm about to tell you. So when Luna runs for a few seconds, like literally half a second, she starts ice skating. When she starts ice skating, she moves faster and she can also jump higher. You need to use this to your advantage. When you get dived on, if you've missed your ice, right, like I just did, and someone's about to, you know, wreck your shit, by all means, turn away and run away. You ain't gonna out damage them. What I'm trying to get at here is, this is why some of you Luna players suck. You'll be out here trying to fight people you shouldn't even be fighting. Use your movement speed boost to get away, to jump away, to do whatever you can to actually run away and escape. Don't sleep on this ability right here. This is why I believe I'm such a good Luna player, because I'm like, hey, he's in my face, I'm running away. Like, I'm just gonna be annoying, get away, and then go around, hit my team again, get back to my team, and then yeah, then we can fight them together, if anything. I see so many Luna players just standing there trying to have a 1v1 with a DPS character. I'm thinking, bro, are you insane? Like, what is wrong with you? Like, some of these Luna players, man. But yeah, so that passive is very good. Don't sleep on it. On to the next one. Absolute Zero. Cast a clump of... Okay, you basically just freeze the target. You saw it. You send out an ice ball, you freeze the target. Pretty self-explanatory, right? Bang, there you go. He's frozen for how many ever seconds? Pretty long while. Cool. Very good. Okay, now let's see what we can talk about this ability. Well, first of all, it has like a weird cast time where when you press it, it kind of takes a while to send it off. So when you're aiming it, you might need to aim a little bit ahead of the target if they're moving left or right. Bear that in mind. Also, the travel speed of this ability is kind of weird. It's not very instant or anything like that. It does travel a bit slower too. So you can miss it. You just need to practice a lot with this ability. Now, a number one tip that I will tell you about this freeze ability is that it is your only defensive ability. Well, that, and if you know, it's an actual ability. The passive, the skating thing, isn't really an ability. This freeze is your only defensive ability, meaning whilst yes, you can use it offensively to allow your team to get kills on targets. And Jesus Christ, I missed that. Whilst yes, you can use this freeze ability to engage fights, and like let's say there's a tank in their front line and you can just freeze the tank, and then you know your team can easily just get a bunch of damage off and hopefully kill that tank. Whilst yes, you can use it like that in certain conditions. However, bear in mind, this is your only defensive ability. If they have a Spider-Man, a Venom, a Black Panther, or anyone that can dive, you can even be a Hulk. If there's anyone that's always pushing up into your face in the back line, which is where you should be, by the way, then maybe keeping this ability instead of using it would be ideal, because if we take off the no cooldown thing, we can see that this ability has a 12-second cooldown, which is a massive window. Let's just put that back on. This ability might be the only ability that keeps you alive, so do use it accordingly. Another cool thing you should know about this ice ability is that it can stop up ultimates too. So if there's a Punisher in your face with his, you know, ultimate guns, by all means you can freeze him and just make his ultimate like not really go away, but just run out of time. I don't know, I think it might actually cancel his ult. I know it definitely does cancel out Spider-Man's ult. So you know when Spider-Man goes into your backline and starts spinning around shooting webs at everyone, you can just freeze him and immediately that will stop his ult. Another character you can do this to is Wanda. If you know the enemy team has a Wanda, you know she's gonna come out from somewhere, and if you think roughly it's around the time where her ult would come up, if you're a good enough player to keep track of time, then you know when she's gonna come and do this. You can keep a hold of your ice ball, and when she does float in the air screaming, yeah, chaos, you know, however she screams, to me that just translates to, hey, kill me. But yeah, and she's floating very, very slowly in the air, making herself an easy target. You can easily just say, sharp bitch. But yeah, after you freeze her, you can just walk up to her and then just slap her in the face as well. Okay, now next up is going to be the ice ball. I'm gonna call it the ice ball. It's actually called share the stage, but yeah, whatever. I'm just gonna call it an ice ball because you place the ice ball on top of your allies, right? You can just place it. It lasts forever on the ally that you have placed on, but if they die, then obviously the ice ball goes away. It's amazing because it allows you to heal 2 targets at the same time. You see, now they're both getting healed. So it allows you to heal people without even looking at them or without even trying. Like this guy could be all the way across the map, somewhere super far away, and I can still be getting off heals. This is why Luna's insane. The amount of heals she can do is just incredible. Now, a top tip for you guys is to put this on targets that are hard to reach. Sorry, I said targets, allies. I know for you Luna players, your allies are actually your enemies because they're going to be screaming down the mic for heals, but allies that need healing that are going to be hard to reach. So for example, a great example would be Iron Man, Hulk, you know, Venom, Black Panther, Spider-Man, Psylocke, Magic and Iron Fist, definitely, Star-Lord. You know, you could put it on Venom too. It doesn't have to just be a DPS character. Basically just allies on your team that are going to be hard for you to reach or hit. For example, a hard to reach ally would be Iron Fist. He can be in the back line where he's super far away from you, but he's low on health. How on earth are you going to heal this guy? Well, you can heal him by placing the ball on him and healing someone else in your team instead. You just need to decide. That's what I'm saying. You need to decide on who the hardest will be and prioritize that guy and put the ball on him constantly, or her. You know, we're not sexist out here. And yeah, a hard to hit target would be something like a Spider-Man or like a Star-Lord. They keep doing backflips, dashing around, and you know, Spider-Man swinging. It ain't gonna happen. Like if a Spider-Man swinging, it's gonna be very hard for you to like land these hits that heal them. Alright, that is that ball ability. Now the next ability is the ice hearts. But before we talk about that, I just want to talk about Luna's basic attack because surprisingly I actually didn't talk about that at all. Whenever you shoot at a teammate, you actually heal them instead, and it's actually a lot of healing, and it's insane because this isn't an ability. It has no cooldown. The only difficulty with this is actually just landing the hits, but as you can see, like with just 2 bullets you can heal your DPS to like full health immediately. This is another thing that makes Luna so amazing. Oh wait, he's low. Put the ball on him and then do that, and then just keep switching the, like you can keep switching the ball because the ball actually has no cooldown. And that's another tip that I would give you guys too, is if you don't really have a target that's going to be hard for you to reach and hard for you to heal, and everyone and all your teammates are like just in front of you, by all means keep switching the ball targets and keep healing multiple people at the time. Don't feel like you can't switch this ball onto different targets at a time. If you're a very good Luna player, I would say switch the ball from your flyers, from your hard to reach allies to your tanks, and then heal up and then go back to that character and then give that ball back to them. But knowing the monkeys online, that's going to be too hard for you to do. So that's why I'm just saying mainly just stick to leaving onto one person. But if you're good enough, you can keep switching it. I hope I explained that well because I'm not going to do that again. Right, and then yeah, so Luna's base attack heals allies and then it also does damage to enemies. Now let's talk about the last ability, which is Ice Hearts, where you give yourself an empowered basic attack. But the weird thing about this attack is that it actually does less damage than your normal attack. Your normal attacks do more damage. However, you're thinking, okay, well, what the heck is the point of this ability then? Well, when you activate it, as you saw, you shoot out these shards, right? Now these shards can go through your allies and heal multiple people at a time. So because you're going to be at the back line like this, you can heal like just your entire team with 1 bullet. And the amount of healing that this shard does is a lot, whereas the damage it does, as you can see, is very minimal. So when you are using these shards and you do empower yourself, you mainly want to focus on healing up your allies instead of doing damage. And it is super good for Luna because you always want to be in the back line, like behind your team, and the chaos is always going to be in front of you. So if you're in the back line and you're just healing up your tanks or healing up your teams with just 1 bullet, with just 1 shot, I can heal up my entire team and deal damage to whoever this shot hits. So if you do remember our passive, where if I do use the ice ball ability or the shards, I will start healing myself. So I'm just going to use the ice ball ability, and then there you go, I've started my health regen for a short duration. We use this defensively, like think about it. If you do have it up, then yeah, you know, go for it. And as you can see, I didn't even hit a target there. Now let's see the ice. Yep, I didn't even shoot anyone, and immediately when I activate the ice shards, I start regenerating health. However, one thing I should say about this ice shard ability is that it is way more forgiving, and you can miss shots with it and still hit the targets. As you can see, I'm not even hitting the target, but I'm still hitting the target somehow. The hitbox of it is very big. It is crazy big. Like, it's almost impossible to miss enemies with this ability. With all that being said, I do need to say something, and that is, on the rare occasions, I feel like this ability should be used to get kills. I know by me saying this, some of the monkeys watching this video, if there is any, would have heard you should always use this ability to get kills and be the next DPS in your team, but I can't help them out anyway. They need Jesus. Yes, it does do less damage to targets, but it is very, very easy to land hits. So for example, if there's a Star-Lord on the enemy team and you're, or let's just say an Iron Man, and yeah, oh yeah, the range kind of sucks of this too. It doesn't really go that far. At 40 meters, let's see if we're gonna hit them. Yep. Okay, so around 40 meters. Right, back to the topic. In the rare occasions, it might actually be good for you to help out your team on landing kills on like targets like the Iron Man and stuff like that. Harder to hit targets because it is such a forgiving ability where you can miss and still hit targets. Stuff like Spider-Man flying super speed across the air would be easier for you to hit than a team with no hit scan and stuff like that. But at that point, they should really have a hit scan. It's not really your fault. You know, your team should. You know, it's not really on you. But I'm just saying, on the rare occasions, you might be able to snipe off some targets and it might actually be worthwhile for your team on the rare occasion. Now, let's talk about the ultimate. Your ultimate, it heals an insane amount and it has many uses. For example, if you heard a Star-Lord ult, you can just instantly ult and just make sure none of your teammates die. They ain't gonna out damage it. Did Spider-Man ult, then you can just ult and counter that too and keep your team alive. Even if Doctor Strange ulted and he stunned your entire team, just go in there and just stand there with your stun team and they won't be able to kill them. This ult can counter a lot of ultimates is what I'm trying to say. However, there is still one ult that will kill you, and that is Iron Man's ultimate. When he does send out his, you know, mega bomb, whatever you want to call it, that is gonna one-shot you and your entire team that's grouped up with you. So watch out for that if they do have an Iron Man in the enemy team. Oh, and obviously Scarlet Witch will also one-shot you too. But let's be honest, she just screams and dies immediately. A guide for both of them is also on my channel if you are interested. Also, do not forget that your ultimate, you can also toggle it to give yourself a or to give your team a damage boost. You can also do this like flicking thing where you keep toggling. You can keep toggling it on and off, and then that way you can just keep healing your team and then also giving them a damage boost at the same time. How quickly you have to toggle, that just depends on the situation that you're in. Now let's talk about getting dived. If you keep getting dived, remember to stay at the back with your team, and if they're still killing you, make sure you ping. Like, use your pings, use your communications, go on headset, like tell them, talk to your team, tell them that you need help because you are getting dived. If they keep failing to stop the dives, ask one of your DPS to switch to Namor. Namor is an amazing DPS anti-dive kind of hero who will easily shut them down. And yes, you guessed it, a guide for that is also on my channel. I know, I'm just amazing. And even after that, if they are still focusing you, you can also use your range. Like, you don't have to be super, like, I know you have to be in the back line of your team, but if that's just making you an easy target and they can easily see where you are and just quickly dive you, then maybe keeping your distance. Let's say that's where my team is, I can just stay far back and then just heal my team instead. You know, I can just stay super far back and then just keep healing up my team from like around the corner or something, if my team isn't helping me at all. Honestly, at that point, it's your team's job to protect you and to keep you alive, and if they're failing to do so, then yeah, that's kind of on them. You do have, like I said, the defensive like getaway kind of a passive where you can just run away and then hope for the best and then come back. You do also have the ice ball where you can freeze and then do damage. But yeah, like apart from that, if you do all of that correctly and position well and try to get away and everything and they're still killing you, at that point it's completely up to your team and they should do a better job in protecting you. Honestly, it amazes me though how I see DPS Lunas in my team, and when I play Luna, I'm constantly turning my head around, making sure no one's dying, keeping myself alive, running away. I have no idea as to how these guys have the time to actually even do damage, to even like I've barely ever in my games had time to aim at an enemy and try to do damage to them, because most of the time my teammates are also getting shot back. So why would I deal damage instead of healing the one that can do damage? Like, it makes no sense to me. I have no idea how these guys do it. If there is one thing that completely sends me over the edge, it's when I see a Luna in my death cam focusing on damaging my targets instead of healing me when I'm in her face or just to the right. I've had this happen to me literally yesterday. Luna is S tier and you barely need any skill to use her. You mainly only just need a brain, which I know the kitchen gamers don't have, nor half the kids that are on this game. If you think that joke is offensive, wait till you find out about my Jewish joke that I did on one of my first Descendant videos. I believe Luna is the only hero on this game where I can reach Grandmaster with. She's definitely top 3 heroes on this game in my opinion, and yeah, she's just an insane character, and I think everyone should have her in their arsenal, especially if you want to climb. All that being said, I hope this video didn't go on for longer than it did. I'm afraid that this video did this time, and yeah, I kind of feel bad, so I'm not going to ramble on any longer. I hope you did enjoy this video. If I did speak fast, I do apologize. I just value your time. I hope I gave you all the tips and tricks. If there is something I missed out on, please do let me know in the comment section down below, and I will pin it. I hope you've had a great Christmas and a happy new year from now. Take care.